Hi everyone. I have my read on the table for the twin flames. It's 3 decks today, and I have 2 of my messages of the day. I was just going inward to ask my inner little girl what's up for today, if she had a message for you. And it was very interesting, the visual I got. I was seeing a drill, a big drill, but very close up, where you're seeing the, it looks like an illusion, right? You think it's drilling in, but it looks like it's just spinning in place, that kind of illusion. But I'm seeing the drill drilling in, and then all of a sudden, I don't see who it is, but someone or something comes over and yanks the whole big drill out of what it's drilling into and becomes very strong. And then I see it's a monkey or an ape, and after they pull the drill out of what it was drilling into, the monkey or ape, it felt like it was like size-wise in between a monkey and an ape or a gorilla. But that monkey or gorilla gets sucked into what was just pulled out of, right? So the drill gets pulled out, the monkey then gets sucked into this and then whipped out and kind of forward out into space, but then they come around again. And as I see them coming around, it's like evolution. And then all of a sudden, the monkey's becoming bigger and bigger. And then I see this morphing, and I don't believe I saw all of the morphing, but I definitely saw going through the horse into the dragon, okay? And I always call God Mr. Ed, so there's that reference there. And then there's this huge, powerful, kind of like horse dragon at the end, standing there, kind of like feeling into their own power. It was a very cool transition. So let's go ahead and take a few deep breaths so I can get right into the message. I wanted to show you, I still have roses growing. I have a couple tomatoes coming up still too. Look how beautiful. This is this morning. So it did get a bit chilly. But today it was kind of cold this morning and yesterday, but now it's beautiful out. I mean, it's still cool, but it's beautiful and sunny. Let's go ahead and take a few deep breaths, and then we'll get right into, we'll do the twin flame read here on the table first, and then we'll do the 2 messages of the day, which were very significant. There's lots of information in the 2 messages of the day. So if you have time, please watch them or break it up and watch it, in a couple different sessions. So let's go ahead and take a few deep breaths. Take a deep breath. Hi guys. Take another deep breath. And one more deep breath. Sending lots of love. Hope you're all having a beautiful day, and thank you so much for joining me. Okay. All right, so first we are going to roll the die, see what's coming up for us. I have the SIRIAN STARSEED deck as usual for this read, the Rider-Waite Mini, and then I have the Mythic deck there. The underlying energies and the cards that came out are right here, and I will show you that picture. So for the twin flames, today is November 2nd, 2023. Okay, I felt very expedited is the word that's coming up. And we have Sagittarius here. We have number 7, which is the Chariot, which is Cancer. It's also the 7th month, July. And 7 for me is also the key and the boomerang, the gamma ray. So the old way of writing gamma used to be this direction. Not the letter F is digamma. So it's now considered forward, but it used to be written backwards and also, you know, like a boomerang shape. And then the gamma was spelled with an M before it was actually spelled with two M's. So we have the 7 in the middle, and then we have the North Node here, which of course is in Aries right now. Just give me 1 second. I'm being guided to look at something here. It's reminding me of something, but I can't quite grasp it. So they're associating the North Node, right, to, because the Leo is very similar to the North Node. It's like half of it without the other little ring on the other side. That missing ring, and that's what I was getting as something coming up regarding those rings. It looks very familiar to me. I'll have to sit on that. But they're showing me, it wasn't on Leo. We were on Sagittarius here, but Leo was facing forward here, and there's this reference to the similarities here, just missing that last ring. And now I'm getting the drilling that I was saying, drilling that last hole. And this is open-ended, whereas this is a closed system, which also comes up in today's read. And here we have that Sagittarius direction with the boomerang in the middle, the North Node in Aries. And we have all 3 fire signs coming up as I mentioned them, right? Because we have Aries and then Leo and Sagittarius right there. And then the 7 of Cancer in the middle there, with the 11 facing us, which is justice and Libra energy, that alignment. And 7-11 may be coming up. I don't know if that's in the news right now. All right, so this energy of the direction of the North Node through Cancer, and Cancer was coming up this week too. This energy of going from the North Node of Aries into Capricorn and then home, which is Cancer. And there's that same energy coming up again here. And we have the Leo, the Lion's Gate, and the Saggy, or I call it Archer Gate, the 12-12. And of course we still have the 11-11 to go through. And that's why the 7-11 was coming up. And then we have the Sun there too, which is a Leo reference again here too. So Leo, and Leo on both sides here with Saggy and Aries. So again, that Lion's Gate kind of grounding, Saggy Gate and Aries Gate. And then the key in the middle. Interesting. Right, the home of the fire, because all the fire signs are coming up, the home of the fire. Right, I'll light the fire while you put the flowers in the vase you bought today. And I was that always comes up with my 4 of Wands, which is that union home energy. Okay, so let's get into the other messages and see what else comes up referencing that information. So here's the first read on the table. And like I said, we have the SIRIAN STARSEED deck as the main deck, the big cards. And the mythic deck is over there in the left-hand corner, underlying energies, and in the center under the mini cards. And then the Rider-Waite as the clarifiers there. Okay, I'm already 9 minutes in, wow. It's 2:18 on the clock. I think it was 2:08 when we started, so there's that 8 energy. Actually, 818 came up in the message today. 2:18 is the High Priestess, which is today's date. So today's November 2, and then today adds up to the Judgment card, number 20. So it was all about the 2s today, 2 and 2, 0. 0 being that source energy backing up the 2. And of course, 2 is about duality, but also the mediation of bringing those 2 together. 2 is the divine feminine, but it's also the higher self. 2 is also my representation, the script 2 of the Q, which is conception, also relating back to the divine feminine and her ability to birth. So here we have the read on the table. I cut the deck at And this was done on the 30th at 8:06 p.m., which is the 8 of strength, the 6 of the lovers. And I was really focusing again on the twin flame physical union for, this was, just before Halloween or Samhain. And we have the, at 8:11 is when I cut the mythic deck, which the 11 is that alignment, justice, truth, and balance. And then I finished clarifying at 8:21, which again is the 8 of the inner and outer strength, the dance between the masculine and feminine, and the manifestation of dreams, the 21 of the world, whole and complete, but it's also the 2 and the 1 of the masculine and the feminine. And the major arcana in the read were the wheel, the great wheel in this deck, which is the wheel of fortune, and the shadow, which is the devil. Before the read was the higher self, or high priestess, and karma, which is the judgment card. And after the read, the starseed came up, which is the fool, the chariot, the lovers, and guidance, which is the hierophant in this deck. And we had 2 cups, 5 wands, and 2 swords. So there's that 2-5-2 energy, which is the 25. I remember how I always tell you the 2 and the 5 in block lettering. When it's the 25, represents the potion bottle, the magic potion, and then the 52 represents a TV on a stand, right? The screen, the projection, the movie, and actually the sign, the cine, the movie, was coming up in the message today as well. So we have the 25 of the Knight of Wands and the 52 of the Queen of Swords combined, right? They share the 5 in the middle, but they each have their independence as the 2 feminine on either side. Very interesting. That's never come up before that way. So just like the infinity with the hourglass as the middle of the infinity, that's the shared part of the 2, the masculine and the feminine, within their own masculine and feminine, the outer half moon parts of the infinity symbol are coming up here as the feminine aspect of not just the feminine, but the masculine as well. So the part that remains independent of source is the feminine side of the masculine and the feminine. And what they share in the middle is their masculine, because then it is combined with source to soften that ego. Oh, very interesting the way that's coming up. So we have the Knight of Cups, the Knight of Swords, the Knight of Wands, 3 knights and a King of Wands. And also the 9 of Cups coming up as the block over here. And then we have the Knight of Pentacles and King of Pentacles coming up after the read. Prior to the read was the Queen of Cups, first the Queen of Wands, then the Queen of Cups, and then the Page of Pentacles all together there. So the numbers, we only had double 4s today, which is the 44. That's my Hercules energy of the 4 of Cups, which is known for boredom and apathy, but also represents what boredom and apathy means. It's time to ground and integrate the experience you've just had, or learn how to receive love. So you've got 44. So this an Atlas, 44 literally in the Divine Triangle numerology teachings is actually the Atlas number, 44. But in the messages I've been getting, the 10 of Wands is the Atlas in the physical sense, that 36 number. And 44 is the kind of social worker Atlas, right? So more of an emotional or societal level in that respect. And 44 and 44 and 36 is 80, right? So 80 days around the world, AD as in after death, 23 years. But also 44 comes up as the 52 Lady Liberty, right? They're both her, which I keep getting this representation of Athena, aka Hercules, right? So that was her alter ego because she was the virgin warrior. You know, of course, her father Zeus always wanting that in a son. So there's this aka Hercules as that creation of Athena's to be all that her father wanted. But she's actually Athena. She's a female. So there's that Lady Liberty, aka Hercules, who can hold up the weight of the world in that flame that she holds. And then the energy of Ellis Island being the masculine energy coming to the new world. So we have the code line here all about the number 9, which is the Hermit. It's also endings and compassion, the one and the all. And also remember, too, the numbers 1 through 9 add up to 45, which is a 9 again. So it all goes back to the 9, which is right? That 9 is that moment before 1 again, before the new cycle again, or back to the singularity every time, like between cycles, coming back to the source and then out again. So the code line here was coming up as, like Simon says, Sophia says, and the C whale was coming up, the SEI whale. In the after death test, and again, we're 23 years after death, the adept being key, or the knight, and we had 3 knights here in the read. The ADEP, which is your extrasensory perception as well. And the twin knight of swords, essence of life, as the 9 of cups, which is that self-satisfaction, being happy with oneself, as 1 of 2, and then Tao was coming up, DOW, which was coming up as do to use. Which also, remember, D is an abbreviation for M. In the old way it used to be written, M used to be like 2 parentheses and a 1 in the middle. It was an M. And now it's, 2 1s and a V in the middle, which for me, either way is co-creation. Then D is the multidimensional way of writing M, because it's literally an axis in the middle with the C that is actually rotating. So you're seeing it when it's stopped, but it's actually, when it rotates, it looks like a full ball, because you're seeing, the rotation. And again, the drilling that I saw this morning was coming up. So I don't know how DOW might be an acronym for some kind of drilling as well. And then divine owie, the human to use, the multidimensional human embodiment of source of to use. So the S comes up as the sine wave, the salt, and Sophia. The salty sine wave says, the night, the night, the twin 2, the Knight of Swords essence is happy as 1 of 2, endowed and worth it. The energy of the grasshopper was coming up, and there's a lot of sexual, in all the definitions that came up in the code line, there were literally 3 different places, I think, where sexual intercourse came up. 2 of them were like ejaculation, the other one was sexual intercourse. So there was this definite reference of co-creation, of creating in a sexual way, the sexual energy. And that Tao word means not only like the Tao in the market or endowed, but to be worth, to thrive, prosper, to endow, a sailing vessel, the pigeon, Burmese, knife, deaf, dumb, ox, stag, I don't know if that's hart, H-A-R-T. That's another kind of deer, I believe. And then dew, D-E-W, also came up. And then the S-E-V-E, which is the sap or the vital essence, the lark, and again, sexual intercourse comes up under that one as well. And at 8:58, my ears go out sometimes, like you're on a plane, but they don't actually physically pop. It's just the sound goes out like they're popping. And both my ears went out at 8:58, which is the 8 of, again, strength and manifestation of dreams, the masculine and feminine dance, and the 58, which is the 4 of swords, which for me is the 5D connection between them. So the dance of the twins in 5D as Sophia's grasshopper, or the student who's not naked, being the key, the night, tonight, the night, and then I was getting tonight's the night, that 2 U's receive words or delivery from the Knight of Swords. And again, sex coming up as self-satisfying as 1 of 2 to thrive and prosper, or sailing vessel. Ejaculation, night, the night. So again, I kept getting tonight is the night. And the WAD test that came up as 2 U's after death, or in those 80 days around the world. The compact mass, the ejaculate test, of thoughts of sex, of getting your wish, of 1 of 2, the masty, which is 1 of 2, or the mass, the density, or the mast being the support system. The fish, and again, that reference of Atlas and Hercules of holding the weight of the world. The fish or pie, the pie C's, which is the 2 C's of the pie, then in the Pisces symbol become inside out and are back to back now, the two C's, and now the line instead of vertical is horizontal because it's basically chorded and the key has turned to seal the deal, so to speak. Also comes up as the table, mace, a labyrinth, crush, to emit maser radiation as such. So I looked up maser radiation, which is microwave amplification by stimulation emission of radiation. And there's association with maser and laser. Laser being a maser with higher frequency photons in ultraviolet or visible light spectrum, where photons are bundles of electromagnetic energy, thought of as rays of light, which travels in oscillating waves of various wavelengths. And again, this was coming up from einstein.stanford.edu. So from quantum mechanics, it's the absorption of photons by atoms occurs only if the wavelength of the photon is just the right size. So it's like opening the lock, right? It has to line perfectly. If it is, or itis, which is swelling, right, the atom will absorb it. The photon vanishes and goes to a higher energy state. And in physics, that would be called absorption. The spontaneous emission is pushing that photon back out, right, not being ready for that energy, not wanting to stay in that higher energy state. The masers cause a chain reaction, exciting them to generate amplification, or kind of like to pay it forward. So paying forward that energy, and so on and so on and so on. So literally blasting something with that high vibe energy, knowing that that something can't hold that high energy, right? Which is why we only get blasts a little bit at a time. And then pushing that energy back out, which then causes a chain reaction of awakening other people, so to speak, right? It blasts other people at the same time. And then they push it back out again because they can't handle it. So again, this energy of, and this is the same principle of a soul jumping into a body without going through the birth process, right? In birth, it's you have to, be comfortable or learn how to get your energy into a human body because we're so dense, how to get that high vibe energy to match up or unlock the lock to get that energy in the body. And sometimes it might take a few leaps to get in. Right? So perhaps a child in conception, leaps in originally and then leaps right out because they can't handle the energy, and then they leap in during the pregnancy. Whenever they're ready, then they can stay. But it's a different, same but different thing as a starseed basically jumping into an already adult human body, having to acclimate to the dense energies. So that energy was coming up. So we come up with the 923, which is the Hermit and the King of Wands. As the Knight of Cups upright is the underlying energy here. I'll push that over a little bit here. All right, so the underlying energy here with the mini cards on top. And beneath that is the Queen of Wands upright, the Higher Self upright, Karma upright, which is the Judgment card. And then the Queen of Cups upright with the Page of Pentacles reversed. As the Queen of Wands higher self in a wake-up call to the Queen of Cups upright, in need of help, or with the Page of Pentacles reversed, who needs that help. That could be a child in need of help with their homework, or someone in need of help to get something started or get something off the ground in a physical way. And the Knight of Cups upright in the green room. Here we have the Queen of Cups and the Knight of Cups. And they're both upright here, which can represent the masculine and feminine. This energy of the Knight of Cups being in the green room, right, which is being green, or not, being the knight as opposed to a queen or a king. And then the green room is also prior to going on stage, right, ready to go on. It's also the wave, the surfer's wave, the loop. And I'm getting that spiral again of the drill going into the ground, ready to go on, right? So again, it's that moment before, right, that 11:59 before that midnight energy. So the Queen of Wands and the Knight of Swords reversed, perhaps she's upright. So I don't think she's lashing out here, but she could be holding her tongue, wanting to say something. That can also be another child or younger person with the Queen of Wands who may be lashing out. It could also be someone holding, giving somebody the silent treatment which isn't in action because they're still giving off that angry energy of not wanting to talk to someone. It also could be messages that haven't been received. But holding her tongue, if it's the Queen of Wands with the King of Wands reversed, this also could be somebody nagging the other, as the King of Wands reversed is to start over and forgive or apologize for the Ace of Wands offer of sex. And then the Queen of Swords, and now I'm getting turn around, so total eclipse of the heart. She turns around after facing the King of Wands. It's like she's offering this passion to the King of Wands reverse and then turning around the other way forward to speak, or speaking over the Knight of Swords reversed. In need of help, the Knight of Pentacles offers help, perhaps, or work to the Queen of Pentacles reversed and the King of Cups reversed, or perhaps two kids of the Queen of Pentacles and King of Cups. The Wands were definitely dealing with swords energy and the underlying energy, right? So the fire in the air. And the Pentacles were dealing with water and this underlying energy, which are, they each resonate with each other. The Pentacles with the water that feeds the earth. The King of Cups reversed is surrounded by earth, and the Knight of Pentacles with balls to help the Queen of Pentacles reversed clean up her mess, with the Knight of Cups reversed, the King of Cups reversed with conditions of love, perhaps with the Knight of Cups upright and the King of Cups reversed, each with a lot of people behind them. And we had the King, the Queen, and the Knight all together right here of Cups. So it could be a watery family here. That could be a group of siblings who are very emotion-based. But it also could be the order of learning to master your emotions, going from the Knight to the Queen to the King. As we have Atlas number 9 and 24 of Hestia here with the Mythic deck, and the 8 of Mnemosyne, the 39 of Orpheus. So Hermit, Atlas is all about responsibility in this deck. As the Hermit comes up as Atlas here, carrying the weight for the Queen of Wands, Hestia, and she's all about the home, as that came up in the die, right? The home in the middle here. But it's the Queen of Wands here, so perhaps a fiery Cancer energy here, stirring up the flames. As Mnemosyne, which I always get as Finding Nemo with synchronicities, inspires with strength the Knight of Cups, Orpheus, to go to hell for the girl. Or the Queen of Wands and the Knight of Cups dance, or Virgo and Leo, with Gaia and Pontus, which come up as, brothers in the Greek definitions here. As there's three generations here, as Gaia and then Mnemosyne, who's under Gaia. She's a child of Gaia, but also the consort of Zeus, her nephew. And then Hestia, which is one of Croton's kids, I believe, as well. And then Orpheus, the poet, is coming up as Charlie Brown here, who also, is very much a poet and perfected the lyra, the instrument. And his brother, remember, is Linus. I'm getting lioness, right? Very Syrian energy there. The Atlas supporting mother, Gaia, number 2, and brother, number 3 here. Just like I said, sometimes the mouse one's not representative of 1, that would be source, but actually number 2 or 3. And here it's coming up as the mother 2 and the brother 3 of Pontus. The daughter, the granddaughter, and the poet. I'm not sure where he's from. As Pontus is 3, with the Knight of Cups and the King of Cups who's reversed, which are 39 and 37, we had 3, 39, 37. And so I looked up 937. Actually, I still wanted to look up 818 too, which I forgot about. The first entry in Gematria of 937 was Michael Protzman. Then Decode Light, Beam, and Present in Cube. The third was God Company is Great. 4 was Mark Allen King, The Reincarnation of God. 5 was My Real Name is a Pleiadian Name. 6 was Queen of the South. And 7 was Mutable December Zodiac, which is interesting too, because on Netflix they just had I just saw a movie with the Knights of the Zodiac. So 954 is the Hermit and the 9 and the Page of Swords. As the recent past is the Knight of Wands upright, pulling down the world. or putting down the world, maybe pulling them down, pushing and pulling down the world, laying down their burdens, their responsibilities, or ending the pain. Or perhaps they fell and they're in great pain, right? I fell and I can't get up. I'm weak and dissatisfied, coming out with bad news. Or Leo and Virgo both reversed here with rumors that inspire the Page of Wands to awaken. Exciting, as in electricity, exciting the light. As the Knight of Cups and the Knight of Wands both upright here, and Uncle, King of Cups reversed, perhaps Pisces or Taurus, blocking the Knight of Cups upright and the Knight of Wands, is the Queen of Wands, perhaps Leo, stirring the pot. She could be a grandchild as well, as the Knight of Cups might have Cancer in their chart, or this Queen of Wands may have Leo, Virgo, Pisces, or Capricorn in their chart, but not actually be a Leo sun. The foundation here is the Ten of Wands reversed, or the Knight of Wands in the basement, perhaps getting away with the inequity of the Ten of Cups reversed, unhappy family, or ending of this emotional cycle. And the King of Pentacles upright, lover or Gemini, as the Knight of Cups could be the Queen of Cups, or the Queen of Cups needs help from the Knight of Cups. After the Queen of Wands and the King of Wands reversed, lawyers have at it, so they could be breaking up or dealing with a contract, again, with each other, Queen of Wands upright and the King of Wands reversed. As the King of Cups reversed may have stolen from or cheated on the Ten of Cups family, so the King of Pentacles is giving the Queen of Cups and the Knight of Cups and the Page of Cups perhaps some affection here. Or the King of Pentacles lovers destined with the High Priestess or Libra or Gemini air signs upright and Pisces or Virgo upright here, with the King of Swords on guard or pissed at their sister, or a fire sign getting between them, like the Page of Pentacles reverse got between the Queen of Cups and the Knight of Cups. Perhaps these children are planning getting in between them. As the King of Swords upright with the Six of Cups, soul ties or innocent children loving each other, Pisces, Leo, or Divine Feminine here, perhaps the King of Swords with their kids on vacation, or left ex behind with sister while taking new girlfriend away with their kids at 10:15, which is the Wheel of Fortune and the Devil, or the Shadow. So at 10:15, we have the Two of Wands upright, which is that twin flame energy or choice of path. The Knight of Wands and the Emperor both upright as well. Perhaps excited to awaken with the Emperor, but then the Page of Wands became the Knight of Wands and ran back to the past, as the Queen of Wands with the Knight of Swords reversed and the Page of Swords reversed, and the King of Wands reversed speaking about what's been going on. As the Emperor's reaping rewards or assessing the worth of breaking up or break down, breaking in, out, or through, stressed at post-war, perhaps dealing with PTSD, and given a choice by their twin, or perhaps an ultimatum here. As the challenge being the Knight of Swords reversed after news of the end of the war, and depressed about the energetic exchange or the lots of back and forth, needing to heal and release patient or impatiently releasing, triggered, pushed to the limit. The Knight of Swords lashing out or holding their tongue. Either way, they have something to say. And now is the King of Wands reversed, whom perhaps is announcing their discomfort or announcing is uncomfortable for them, with the Queen of Cups clinging to the Ten of Pentacles family, business, or community, or exhausted by it, and the Ten of Pentacles there, though, is rising above as they are upright. The 27 is Aphrodite, which of course is all about beauty, and the 42 of Perseus, courage, and the 31 of Hebe, about play, with a new passion to be one-to-one, and created Hebe, or a groupie, perhaps a man with two women. Sexy beauty and playful girl, as the King of Wands reversed could be dealing with Aquarius upright, Scorpio reversed. And soon here is the Seven of Wands reversed, unable to rise above deception at work, or having to get up early and put out nonstop, or dumped on by impatient. As the Knight of Cups upright with news to help find peace, or about travel, defenseless to the energies they're feeling ganged up on, the twin flames seeing themselves as the Eight of Swords reversed. Home with the Page of Cups upright, exposing release, tripping up or breaking patterns, dropping the facade or breaking up the act, as Justice and the Empress, or Libra and Taurus, holding on or keeping their cards close, with a union message here, At 1054, which is the wheel and the page of swords, so again, the destined message here, around the twins, or how they're seen, is the wheel of fortune, upright, with third party or bad influences, or after no reunion, and withholding, dumping emotional attachments, and detoxing codependencies. Libra upright and Capricorn reversed, blocked by the Nine of Cups reversed, and their unhappiness with themselves, or dissatisfied being foolish and falling into divorce, divide, or need for spiritual knowledge. As the shadow reversed is detoxing or ending conflict, drama, defenseless to recovery, to connect one-to-one, face-to-face, detox without rest, leading the way, or group. As the magician is upright with dependent, or maybe they're powerless and spent, looking back to get over the loss and regret of the past, but victorious with good news about the past, as the Four of Cups reversed is starting over and coming off the island to self, knocked for a loop, fallen and broken, or hit and run, with no rest for the weary, as the Knight of Pentacles upright offers their help to lover spiritually and or in a divorce. As Aries, Capricorn, and Cancer are all reversed, with Gemini upright and Taurus reversed, as the King of Cups reversed is with the Ten of Cups family reversed, or Gemini and Taurus in their chart. The King of Cups reversed ends an emotional cycle with their family, or the Knight of Pentacles is the King of Pentacles, Gemini. Perhaps a child of divorce with the King of Cups reversed, maybe depressed or an alcoholic father, ending a cycle with family or unhappiness. Or the Knight of Pentacles, the child of the King of Pentacles, perhaps Gemini again, offering to work or help communicate, or help Gemini or lover without guidance, or in a divorce, or breaking contract or religion, from the King of Cups reversed and the Ten of Cups reversed, or that negative emotional family. The Knight of Pentacles could be living with or having Thanksgiving with the Page of Pentacles, Queen of Pentacles, and the King of Cups all reversed. And the Knight of Pentacles is trying to help both the King of Cups reversed and the King of Pentacles upright. Or perhaps the Knight of Pentacles is expected to go with the King of Pentacles on vacation, but the King of Pentacles went with their lover alone. So the Knight of Pentacles turned into the King of Swords, now guarded to her, right, that other woman, and the man of the family, and now placing himself as being the man of the family, right, since the father went away with a girlfriend. Or the King of Pentacles and the King of Swords, perhaps two adult men with their sister between them, or the King of Pentacles' lover or secret keeper has come between them, and that could be brothers or partners, whatever the relationship is, as the King of Pentacles with their lover and the King of Swords away with the kids. Perhaps a child is leaving home, or a pet in a breakup. Perhaps Libra and Taurus holding it together until the child graduates or leaves, and then dropping the act. And that was at 1116, which is Justice and the Tower, or Libra and Scorpio, as the Queen of Wands and High Priestess, or higher self, is waking to the Queen of Cups, dark night, in need of help from the Knight of Cups. As the Knight of Cups is dumping a load in release, destined with Libra, Knight of Wands, twin flames, challenged by the Knight of Swords reversed, defenseless to the energies of being unhappy with oneself. The King of Wands reversed, detoxing and rising above to their sleeplessness and or awakening process, leading the way in the past and starting over, falling on their face or from grace, in a breakup or breakdown, break in, break out, or break through, as the Knight of Pentacles is offering affection without guidance to the King of Cups reversed and that Ten of Cups reversed family, or the King of Cups without his family, or the Queen of Cups and the Page of Pentacles reversed with the Knight of Cups and the Knight of Wands upright, or the Queen of Cups upright needing help from the Knight of Cups and the Knight of Wands to drop their burdens and choose a new path. And this was all at 1125 of Justice and the Knight of Wands. Or the twin flames challenged by the Knight of Swords reversed and the King of Wands reversed, releasing their anxieties or out of prison, defenseless or without excuse, destined to be dissatisfied with themselves and detox, in need of a rest or to be refreshed, be seen with a good reputation, to address the past, start over and fall, to break and get up and propose to their lover at 1133, which is justice. And again, that Christ vibration or the 4D bridge to the other side. All right, so there was your read. All right, so first message of the day here is we have the Fortune's Oracle at the top. I'll bring it up a little bit so you can see it closer. Fortune's Oracle and the Journey of Love, and then the Metatron deck and the Rider-Waite at the bottom there. So for those of you not familiar, the cards on the left is the bottom of the deck, the underlying energies. I usually pull 3 cards unless a 4th comes out with them. And then the rest of the cards naturally want to come out as well, and I use them for numerology and to complete the message for that line. So the piles at the end of the decks came out as 1111 and 61421, which 1111 is the first entry is twin flames. So of course that came up. The twin flame lovers angels, 6 and 14 is the lovers and the higher love of the temperance card, and the 21 is the world with the feminine and the masculine energy, the 2 and the 1. And it also came up as 161 and 142-1 and 111-1. So this energy of the 2 masculine energies escorting the lovers and family, the 42 of the 1-1 and the 11 of the alignment of justice, truth, and balance. The twin flame lovers, angels, 2 and 1, 2-1, taking the risk of the lambda or the number 4, the L and the 1, lambda leap to 1. The 614 I looked up, the 614 world, 6, and again that's the lovers and the temperance energy of the 14. But also that's a strong communication date, 6/14, and that's 6 references June, and then the 14, which is also Sagittarius energy, which Gemini and Sagittarius are on the same axis there. So that energy of Gemini Saggy, which Gemini is the twin energy, and that world where I looked up in Gematria, and the first entry was Jack. And the other numbers associated with it besides 614 were 150 and 125, and the number of hits there was 2525, or quarter. The second entry was surprise, and then seminancy, which I'm not exactly sure what that's supposed to mean. I looked it up. I couldn't find that particular spelling. And then Hezbollah, lizard came up. April 4th came up, which the other number associated was 144. And then Clayton came up, Nit, N-I-T, 8-4. Right eye came up, and then date proof God is here. And then the 11th entry was darkness to light. As co-creating the tower, angel, and world, which 444 kept coming up this past week, which is the angelic realms, co-creating that tower, that sudden event, epiphany, or sexual exchange with the angelic world, the sudden higher lover of heaven on earth, Scorpio Saggy to 1, February to March Pisces, and Valentine's to spring equinox, and the 614 to 1. So it's getting, the 2-1 was bringing me to not only 614, but plus 2 is 616, and then to 1, which is 617, which is when Venus and Mercury are conjunct in Cancer. Okay, and again, that energy of coming home. As Venus and Mercury conjunct in Cancer, where the moon is in Scorpio, which is that Mars energy, and the moon and Mars are in opposition at that point. Right, so the conjunction of Mercury, which is all about communication with the heart, and opposition of action with the moon, and that can represent subconscious energies, but also the daughter energy. And it came up, what I was looking at, it showed how many days it was until 6/17, and it was 230 days, and literally said 7 months and 17 days. So there's that 717 coming up. And the 230 days is 0, or source energy backing up the 23 of the King of Wands, which is this year, learning to master the masculine passions here at 111. So I looked up people's birthdays also came up when this came up, the 230 days. Venus Williams' birthday, and also Dennis Levant. And again, Gemini twins. Jack in the Box and Seminency, which is the closest I could reference to that is puberty, which is like the sperm march. There's March coming up again. Hezbollah means, it literally means party of God, but it's a militant group, of course. The Shias, Islamic organization that arose at 1982 regarding the Israeli invasion of Lebanon. So March 21st, the spring equinox, to June 17th is 88 days. The energy of the 80 of infinite after death days, 2023, and 8 days, or infinite days. The 80 AD infinite days of justice, alignment, and co-creation with the Magician's Tower, escorting the 42 Two of Cups 1-1. The 42/6 being in the middle, as well as 11, 6, and 42, aligning the lovers 1-1, where then 642, and by the way, the cards that came up here, 10, 30, 31, 17, also added up to 88. 642 came up as Jana, persecution, Anja, Ajna, Bordeaux, orthodox, the true light, armed and dangerous, Hertfordshire, England, Xanax, October 19th, spelled out, twin flame lovers, higher love, complete, 21 around the world with Pisces 21, which is that March 21st reference again. And that ended at 121, again, the one of the leap around the world. And then at 128, which 28 is the Two of Wands, the twin flame energy again. The underlying energy here was the 20, today is the 20 energy of marriage, the 10 of 3-1, 45 of endings, and the Magician reversed, number 1. And then I was getting cheerio, good chap, a wake-up call, then attracting unconditional love, destined to the vortex, 3-1, held in the sunset each day to let go of sad emotions, of insecurities, manipulation, and lack of tools to manifest magician embodiment, or the English patient, and or distortion of Aquarius, Libra, Gemini, I, and the Gemini I was coming up here, of judgment, twist of fate, and manipulative energy, outdated communication, as communion enacted is calm unication on the grail, God's rail, the tunneling effect from the portal. So at a 137, the leap to the King of Cups, the 3 keys of alchemy and unconditional love, the underlying energy is the 5, which was coming up as celebrations, but Jack in the Box was coming up there, as the 24 with patience, 9 of the eagle, 4 of the birth, and 20 of marriage, the master of the hidden house, free to open to the new light, the rolling stone as ash on top, the bright light, the traveling path of one bright light, are the rays of the sun. With the Queen of Wands, patience to enlighten the human, with 24th Pleiadian pair of chromosomes, the hourglass, our reflection, within the infinite, or the 8, exchange, where we hold each other's hearts in our hands. The hermit eagle soars over the mountains. Mountains is our remembrance. The eagles is the Ia's glee in patience. The finger of God in baby's hand is that sword as your spine, as the kundalini. The lambda leap in birth to be earth. We're 5-4. And the 9-4 was also coming up here, but they were coming up as 5-4, but then the 9-4, the Hierophant and the Hermit, which is the higher, the energy of human breathing, and hermit, each lamb to father, 420 birth of Scorpio, 2 of Cups. So 42 is the 2 of Cups. So it's coming up as 420. And that came up the other day because my son's time of birth was 420 in room 420. The 524, which is the 5 to 4, and then 9 420, which is 9 4 2. The energy of Taurus and Virgo coming up there with 24 and 42 reflecting each other, which is actually my mother and father's soul numbers. 2 for all and all for 2. Omega, the feminine ego. Enlightenment, which is, EN is my code for JC. So enlightenment is JC light, JC intent. His light intention and her loving ego. The gift of Jack in the Box, where then patience is broken down as in the Pa, the Father, TI is Source, EN is JC, and CE is the seal. The Father, Source, JC, seal. E is Glee. The transition through the birth, which is the B of transition. The lowercase I is the chakra system for me. And then RTH, which is Earth. It's also the baker. The chakra system's baker. And back her up. In marriage, which is the Mar of ocean, and Riage, which was coming up as the redo. The ocean's redo, and the mother's happy river of energy, or to dry corn in a kiln. The sea blood energy, the ocean of us, as in Toys R Us, Ma R Us energy. The 28 of the snake then comes up as the next card. The first card at 156, which is the magician, the masculine, the 56 of the 2 of swords. And the 28 of the snake here, and the wake-up call for twin snakes to arise for expansion of intuition and healing. The 25 of the phoenix, that's the Knight of Wands that rises. The Knight of Wands on 31, which was Halloween that day, as the thorns today, Hallows Eve. The marriage of twin flames as the weaving snakes rise. The river runs through it. The ash turns to bright light through rebirthing process. The redo to be earth. Transition to hear to the nth degree, right? Earth is ear to the nth degree. The group, to hear the group, the collective. The crown as Jack and the beanstalk, which in the spring becomes the rose, right? Because then the rose can meet Jack where he is. As Jack and Rose don't part this time, as the phoenix breaks through the thorny crown, the crow N is the scarecrow JC, carrying the wounds of the cross and releasing the cross as CRO, or the crows, SS, suffering in silence. At 203 is the High Priestess, Divine Feminine, Higher Self, and the 3 of the Empress, which is also the 2 of the Q of the Queen and Conception, and then the 3 of the soaring bird flying horizontally. The 12 of the Fool, the 15 Key, the 10 of Fire, 11 Flowers, 33 Unicorn, and 36 World. As the Fool and the Hanging Man with the keys to transmute the fire, Pisces, Capricorn, Aries, and Libra here, with lots of Cardinal and Dream Walker. The keys to take down the cross, and for the flowers to bloom. The collective destined to align with the unicorns on the rainbow bridge of unity consciousness, with their map of intent to Atlas's world, around the world in AD days, where April 8th to 9th, which is Easter in 24, came up as the 739,000th day. So the 8th to the 9th, somewhere in there, is 739,000 days. The chariot of the Knight of Cups, enlightenment, which again, the 1,000, the triple zeros represents enlightenment. And the 739, did I look up 739? I might have before. Let me see what that is. Actually, I want to look up 739 and 818. See if I remember both of those once I get in there. I'm sorry, sometimes I forget what I'm doing. Okay, let's see here. So, We're putting in 739. Oh, the first entry for 739 is I'm sorry. And then love means never having to say you're sorry comes up. The second entry is eternity, and then Martin Luther King. Then the theory of life, the key to God. And then 1 NK 333. Which also comes up as, because it's all the words are together, there's no spaces between. It can also represent on EM, which is my code for Jesus Christ. And then K is energy, and then of 333. Really interesting. And the next one was holding auditions here. And then you need me, milking those stars, and Johann. Ademptionus, Cadabamus, and then the keeper of the gate is named. The last key. All right, so then we have, I wanted to look up 818 too while I'm in here for you guys. 818, because 414 came up the other day. I think that comes up in one of my messages. So 818, the first entry is the Christ key. Then exclamation point, which is the reverse of the lowercase I, which is the chakra system. And then, is it Kelso or Celso Rodriguez? Kenape, Kenaip. And then active, doors shall be shut, political correctness. And then dihydroactinidolide, decode, she hides the key. Caged animals return home. Very interesting. Okay, so those are what came up for those two numbers. I just write those numbers down so I know I looked them up. So we looked up 739, which was what I'm sorry. That was kind of a cool first entry. And then 818, which was the Christ key. Okay. So the underlying energy here is the 57 of the lovers, and this was at 212. The 55 of acceptance, the 12 of self-initiation, and the 10 of 3 to 1. Either breaking apart or slowly healing together. The truth of the fairy tale and acceptance of the hanging man's wisdom of self-initiation. Lovers of the stone and acceptance the sword. Sophia's word. Hanging out in the vortex, destined 3 to 1. As the 66 then comes up at 217, and 17 was coming up a lot. The 2 of the feminine, the higher self, the high priestess, and the 17 of the star. The 66 of the Queen of Pentacles coming together as the Queen of Pentacles in the heart with the 35 wounded warrior with intimacy in the vortex. The 20 of the sweet soul rising, which is today's energy again, the 2 and the 20. The sweet soul rising and the wake-up call for angels to come in. As the 59 is the temple of liberty, the angels at the foot, which is one of the visions I had actually, with Pleiadian and Andromeda were coming up for me here, ships all around, the end of the inner war. So the vision I had several years ago was at the Statue of Liberty that all of the angels would be at the foot of the Statue of Liberty as the Pleiadian ship came in to the flame. So that's coming up here, totally separate from my vision. The 221 is the underlying energy of the 24 of the Queen of Wands, an orange connection and attunement. The Queen of Wands and the 24th pair stretch and lunge with the 46 of the 6 of Cups and the authentic self of the inner child or children. Birthing the second time. So who are you this time? The 45, which is also the 1 through 9, added up 45, as you are held by your ancestors in the horizon of the sunset, right? You are the collective of all. Purging the pain of birth contractions. So here the Mass is coming up as the death of the flames of JC while the feminine Mary Magdalene energy, the pain of birth, right? So the pain of death of the masculine and the pain of birth of the feminine. The 50 of the signs from Spirit with love at 223, right? The feminine and the King of Wands, right? The higher self and the King of Wands. The signs from Spirit with love of 3 of creation and 7 of water. And there's that 3-7 again of the 3 keys and unconditional love. Like the little birdie told me, a family friend, about the collective. The 3 of the Empress Mother, awakening. I heard it through the grapevine. Chariots of water. 4 dodeca or 12, emotional well-being. And again, the number is 12, right? Everything's split up into 12. So it's not using the 6, but the 3 and the 4s. And I'll show you a diagram that came up after this as well. So remember the 12, right? The astrological wheel of 12. The dolphins and the birds escorting the world with Lyrans and serious ones, the 13 being the collective of the 12. The 10 of Cups family, the mother and the chariot. The key boomerang and the 3 keys of alchemy. The cap, which is the Capricorn, Aquarius, Pisces of the last 3 keys in Capricorn, Aquarius, and Pisces. The 37 of the King of Cups and unconditional love. The 31 of transformation. The 47 of blessings and thanks. Receiving the sun, the 31st of October, to reveal the shadow pack through synchronistic blessings and thanks through thanksgiving, or thank God. The 4 to 7, which is the heart to crown sweet spot, of 28 and 38 of the double diamond twin flames, untying the karmic knots as the Queen of Cups with her activated light body is powering up. At 312 is the Empress and the Hanging Man, as the Queen of Wands with the Devil reversed is detoxing with the Page of Cups upright. The Queen of Swords speaking the truth about Excalibur, with Capricorn, Libra reversed and Aquarius upright, or 2 queens and a pup, announcing or a wake-up call to be happy with yourself, as the 9 of Cups upright and the 9 of Wands, wounded warrior who may be on guard to this happy one. The Knight of Swords reversed and the Knight of Cups reversed may be arguing behind the scenes, or 2 colluding about the confident one, right? When you see someone, who's really pretty and getting a lot of attention or very happy with themselves, right? Those who are not, it's this energy of them like kind of talking behind their back about them, right? Because they feel on guard or wounded about it. Or are they a little arrogant here, right? Is the one who's shining, are they in their truth? Are they coming off as all that? Are they pretending to be that or being arrogant? As the Knight of Swords and the Knight of Cups, both reversed, are exposing the energy of death, transition, transformation, and dark night, Halloween. As Leo and Scorpio are upright, to the King of Pentacles at night, or the King of Pentacles may be disguised under the radar in a split or trying to get more information here by going undercover. The post-war 10 of Pentacles upright, family, business, or community of the Empress, reaping rewards, assessing their worth, as Atlas, and the weight of the 10 wands, and the 7 wands then let go of, as the 7 of wands for the 6 of Cups soul tie, whether it's a soulmate, twin flame, or children, letting go of the 7 burdens after carrying 10 for that soul tie, or working hard and defenseless to that 6 of Cups energy of your children or soul tie, they could be withholding or saving for the Queen of Pentacles, as a divine masculine or child is saving for a gift for the Queen of Pentacles, who may be rising to the occasion to a higher love, awakening to patient angel or Sagittarius, who may be resisting a sudden change or trying to resist the bliss coming in, as the Ace of Wands reversed is a release here, right? That's not only frustration, but it's also the reference of after the upright Ace of Wands, which is sex. This energy of post-release, an alternative belief system, and or divorce, or breaking away from the mainstream. The Page of Wands upright here, with blocks to work out, but they're inspired, with obstacles to overcome, perhaps a car to fix, or a car that's broken or malaligned, or losing their mind, or after or after alternative treatment, the Page of Wands without Cancer is working overtime. Perhaps the wacky professor performing or dressed up for the kids, or performing at a party or for a reunion. At 5:04, which a helicopter came in really close at that point. The 5 is the Hierophant, the 4 is the Emperor. And that's that church versus state kind of energy. Perhaps the child's car wasn't working, or it's at the shop, but they got to use their parents' car, or show off a bit to their friends, or to come together with the King of Wands reversed, who may be recovering, and taking a walk with them, perhaps hanging out before the Knight of Pentacles offers help or has to go to work, or proposal to the Page of Pentacles reversed. Perhaps one of them or both are keeping their cards close to their chest, as the Page of Pentacles reversed is being strong, taming the beast, starting over at home with the Knight of Wands reversed, who may be exhausted after a busy day, or a lot of back and forth, or the arrows of love here, with Pisces reversed, or 5D Dream Girl, offered big love by the King of Swords, who may be feeling badly about manipulation, or perhaps trick or treaters. Perhaps the King of Swords offers affection, but feels badly without the tools of the trade, or perhaps someone who had no candy to give the kids. As the Queen of Wands upright and the Page of Cups upright in detox, while the Queen of Swords slows down to make an announcement, happily, but the Knight of Swords and Knight of Cups, both reversed here, may be moody and difficult now, or impatient to go out. From day to night, sun to moon, the walking dead out, prancing around, as Dark Knight, King of Pentacles, with a pen at the romantic moon, perhaps someone staying home to write a bit, perhaps something romantic. As the Six of Wands and the Five of Swords, both reversed here, perhaps divided or splitting up, to divide and conquer, or separate, or going in separate cars with the kids. To the Ten of Pentacles and the Empress upright at the E Tower, or feeling unworthy with only 7 pentacles, and back to work again, right, to try to create 10, as defenseless to the Six of Cups kids or soul tie, or Empress spoiling the kids, and then the Queen of Pentacles has to withhold, otherwise they won't sleep. You know, it's like the Empress grandmother who gives them lots of candy, but then the Queen of Pentacles is the mom who then has to deal with the after effect of all that, and then has to be the bad guy by withholding. So rising above to be patient, as Saggy upright, Scorpio reversed, being resistant, now the worst is over, and frustrated or uninspired to divorce or leave the establishment, as the Page of Wands then gets a second wind to work things out with the Hermit reversed, and perform for them to make the King of Wands reverse happy while recovering or taking a walk perhaps. Or perhaps taking a hike. Or waiting for the kids to come back and recover before taking a nightly stroll. Hanging out with the Knight of Pentacles, offering to share, but the Page of Pentacles reversed is not having it. They're being strong and saving it for later. And you know, that's that, I was getting that energy of siblings, you know, saying, I'll trade you this candy for this, or, you know, can I have a piece of your candy? And them saying, no, because I'm saving it. But they have that control to do that. Perhaps the other sibling ate all of theirs. So the Pisces are Capricorn upright, and Leo or pet here, starting again at home or to player's house, back and forth around the neighborhood. Saggy or fire reversed, and Pisces reversed, or divine feminine or neighbor. Won't you be my neighbor was coming up, as the King of Swords offers kindness, but also is very by the book or strict. But then feeling bad or insecure, or perhaps the children were shy, and he related to that, or them, and felt badly for not having candy or the proper tools, or just not prepared for the event. So the next first card is and that was at 5:30, and that could be like Halloween early where the little kids are there, you know, they're only like 2 or 3 years old. So we have the next first card is the Emperor reversed, the Lovers upright, and Justice upright, with the Emperor reversed with great affection for justice, law, or for making others feel powerless or dependent upon them, as Aries is reversed with Gemini and Libra upright, who are powerless here, or the Emperor reversed and the Nine of Pentacles reversed, maybe entrapping Libra lovers or Gemini judge, or Gemini and Libra, or Aries reversed and Libra upright lovers making a big purchase together. But it doesn't look like they're agreeing on what to do or how much to pay, I suppose. As the Page of Swords is stepping up to swing or talk or message about the past, and the Ten of Cups reversed unhappiness about bad weather or separation anxiety and released, or worried they got out, having dreams or new information or clarity, perhaps healing an imbalance and dumping multiple loads or emotional attachments, to stealing energy from the High Priestess reversed or secret passion that then sets them free at 541, which is the Hierophant and the Ace of Cups. With Aquarius upright and Pisces or Virgo reversed with Aries upright, perhaps a sister involved here too, or suffering in silence in a losing battle or ending conflict, the game, or the suffering in silence after eating candy and then saying, I told you so. A choice presented, or the Page of Swords offers more. In disconnect or at a distance, finding peace after a disagreement and going back to work, or to co-create and not sharing with the King of Cups and the Queen of Cups, or making something that is a surprise for someone and not wanting to share that with the King and Queen of Cups because maybe there's a fear that they'll tell, or maybe it's a gift for them, or there's an unfair deal. They may not be sharing an unfair deal with the King of Cups and Queen of Cups. Perhaps a couple goes out or to the workplace to avoid the trick-or-treaters, also is coming up here. Okay. So now we have my second message of the day. It's 1:11. It's 3:20 on the clock. So here's this next message. Okay, so the top deck is Nature's Whispers, and then the Fortune Oracle, and then the Wild Unknown Guidebook, the Animal Guidebook, and then the Rider-Waite at the bottom there. All right, so this one was done yesterday. At 3:40 p.m. is Nature's Whispers, then 40 is the Page of Cups, 42 is the Two of Cups, 43 is the Three of Cups, and 44 the Four of Cups for the Rider-Waite. The cards at the end were, again, we had 11-11 or 11-12 it could have been. It was interesting the way it was coming up. And it also could be 23-38 or 23-39. So what was going on was I was getting one reading is for the feminine, one was for the masculine. It was very cool the way this came up. So to the Chariot of the Queen of Cups, the Queen's Gambit, the Twin Flames, New Passion, the Queen of Cups, the Higher Self in the Chariot soars to the Knight of Cups, with new passion for the Empress and the Knight of Cups, or the Higher Self or two out in the cold with the Knight of Cups. The True Prophecy of God came up with 1112, and the third entry was Bringer of the Age of Aquarius. As the Divine Feminine Twin Flame and Vesica Pisces came up. And again, for me, the Vesica Pisces is actually the two circles create the third circle because they're actually the two Qs. And two Qs, right, they each have a tail, but when they reflect each other, those two tails then create the third circle that are between them. So the energy of the Vesica Pisces to the Pisces, right? The pi symbol of the two C's with a line down the middle, going inside out of each other, then back to back with then the line horizontally because then the lock has been turned. They're corded. The 38 of the Queen of Cups comes up there. The Divine Masculine, signed, sealed, and delivered with number 11, of Heart over Mind, number 6, and the High Priestess or Higher Self out in the cold with the Knight of Cups, or the Queen of Cups and the Knight of Cups together, which also each one came up as the 18 and the 19, the Moon and the Sun, the Daughter Moon and the Sun. The Luna Sea of Soul are waves S, the C and the S of the Christos Sophia, and the numbers together came up as 11112738 and 11122739 as this crescendo of numbers played out. The 1111-278 with 3 between for the feminine, or the leap to co-create 78, which is the 10 of Pentacles or heaven on earth, and the Divine Feminine with time to align to the 10 of Pentacles, with the Empress Mother Nature between. The co-creation or magic 11, 22, and 79 with 33 between for the masculine, or mom has the keys to the chariot or car, the key in the pod, or soaring in the chariot to infinity and beyond. The divine masculine co-creating or leap to 6D at the 5D station or from the 5D station to the pot of gold with Christ between, with the keys to or ending or compassion, the easy pass connection in the chariot or taking the rainbow bridge to source gold, the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. So it's coming up as like the feminine has the mother in between, and then the masculine has the Christ energy between, right? So they have to connect with the father energy, and she has to connect with Mother Earth, okay? And she's headed for infinity and beyond, whereas he's headed for the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, okay? So there's energy of vertical and horizontal energies. And then the divine feminine, divine masculine, or the Queen of Cups and the Knight of Cups, the 18 and the 19, align with the 89 of Phi. For me, that's code for Phi energy, which comes up as the expansion, contraction, or staying in the middle, reflecting. But the 77, 333, and 89 came up here. So they were having me group all the numbers. So we had 7 ones, then 3 2s, 2 7s, 3 3s, and 89, which added up to 53, which is the Knight of Swords. And so there were 7, 6, 14, 9, and 17 too as the groups, which is the Chariot, the Lovers, the Higher Love, 614, the 9 of Source Energy, the 1 and the All, the compassion and endings, and the 17 of the Star. And 917 is coming up. It's actually my brother's birthday. So this energy of the leap to, and you know how 6 lines across down is like the all, the symbol of the all? That was coming up as the 7 ones. The leap of 1 and then the 6 lines across, the leap to all, or the 4 lines down with 1 line across, right? The complete set of 5 plus 2. The complete set of 2 aligned, or 11, with 222 guidance, the 77 of sovereignty, which is also like 2 boomerangs, spooning with each other, or the digamma wave from 222 to 333 of 246 that speeds up to 369 and accelerates from 6 to 9 in the 698 pod at a high vibe frequency of compassion for one and all, the 9, of 7 ones, 3 2s, 2 7s, 3 3s, and then the Phi energy of the golden mean came up as 1.618, which is really interesting because I had an old phone number that I really liked. And so last time I changed my phone, I asked to keep my number and they said I could. And I never used my landline anymore. So I didn't realize till the next year that my phone number wasn't my phone number at all. They had assigned me the number 1618, I believe it is. I still don't know what it is because I never used that phone. But that's that energy of the Phi energy, which also comes up as the distorted matrix under Ascension Glossary. So you can check out Ascension Glossary about that energy of the spirals, right? The golden mean versus the crystal, which will come up in a second. I will bring some information up about that. But the 3 of Pentacles with the 6 of Wands, the Ace of Wands, and the 7 of Wands comes up here, right? The co-creation to lead the way with that burning flame igniting the 7 of Wands to stand up for themselves. That Christ vibration there, which is unity consciousness. And then the Phi energy. So, and what I wanted to bring up as well is the Phi energy reflected the symbol that looks like a U with a loop around. It looks like a Q, but a Q that loops from the top as opposed from the side, like my 2Q. But if you reflect that symbol, it becomes that 2Q energy, the 2E, which then is the ash of the AE. So again, that energy of the rolling stone, but with the ash symbology, which then brings up the 6 and the 9 as well, right? Because that the symbol for Phi kind of looks like a 6 that's kind of flat. You know, the top of the 6 is like equal to the loop. But there is that energy of the 6-9, which comes up to my ash reflection, right? Because AE is a bow, and it means bright light, the ash. And then when it's reflected the other way, it becomes the 9 and the 6, or the lower G, the lowercase g, and the uppercase G of the 6, which is that God energy, and the lower G of the, right, the lesser God. So it's all coming back to that energy that, right, there are distortions in our matrix, but remember that we're in a specific program as Earth, right? So even if there are distortions and there's bad and good and all that kind of stuff, it's all of it is still part of source energy. There's nothing in anyone, not just Earth, but any world out there. There's nothing in any world out there that is not of source. It's all source energy. There is nothing but source. So it is all the reflections of itself. So don't get caught up in the details of distortions. The people who are guided to do the work on distortions, they're guided to do that. But that doesn't mean that's your job, and nor should it put you into fear about anything. So, and again, the distorted, right, the claim of the distorted Vesica Pisces, but really it depends on what your perspective. For me, the Vesica Pisces is self-contained in creating that third zero, but the distortion is us as a planet having been cut off from source by the grids that were created. Bye, honey. Have a great night, okay? It's okay, honey. So, and again, my drawings of the Vesica Pisces, and as you can see, when you, not the Vesica Pisces, but when you put the circles side by side, you can see that the Q and the Q reflecting automatically create that third circle. And it also represents the torus of the apple from the side view, but that apple from the side view is also a tunnel, right? Because it's the donut from the top. So that the third circle is, if it's a flat circle, would be just on a different plane than the two front circles, right? It would be going through the middle, and the middle point is the singularity, it's source, right? The circle represents the all. The point in the middle of the circle represents the source singularity. So this third circle literally is using the points in the middle, the singularity, and still being connected to source energy. Whereas when there's no point in the middle, which is the reference of the Vesica Pisces, but the Vesica Pisces also represents the Q, as the tail of the first Q is representing the lead in to the second circle. It's the connection between. So also I wanted to bring up, this is just rough sketches. So there's the Pisces symbol as well, showing you the two circles and then the link between, okay? And again, that line between on the Pisces symbol is just referencing that third circle. And again, this is from the top over here, okay? So the two circles with the donut circle from the top. And then again, the propeller, so that comes up as the bi-directional propellers going at the same time, the push and pull. And again, in Ascension Glossary, she very much talks about the ultimate thing is to be able to express radiant love, or that phased array of love. So the crystal spiral comes up versus the golden spiral, and where the golden mean is that 1.618, the crystal spiral is all about the 2, which is today, the 2 and the 20. And again, the crystal spiral is based on what came up recently in my messages of, remember I talked about the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, 7, 8, 9, but then taking the 4 back to the 0, so that the 4 parts are actually 0, 1, 2, 3, which then is brought up regarding the crystal spiral, because it all bases itself on the 0, or always goes back to source. It doesn't kill the previous to go on, but includes the previous as the collective to build upon, okay? So that's the difference between the crystal and the Fibonacci sequence spiral, or the golden mean. And according to Ascension Glossary, she connects the crystal spiral to the 8th chakra, which is the high heart, by vertical lines of the 12 tree grid. And again, the difference between the bi-wave and the trinity wave. Okay, so 2 circles being cut off to the 3rd circle, and then the trinity wave, which is the connection to source energy, right? Because the twins can't align unless they're each connected to source. And if they're blocked from connecting to source, they can't be brought together in union. So that was the block of the dark energies, right? So the Fibonacci creates further separation of the finite life, right? We live in a finite universe, right? But remember, all of these processes are all part of source. Disperses the bi-wave, Vesica, Pisces, and harness. And the harness came up for me recently as the rib cage, right? Being caged in, protected, right? So it's all in the perspective, right? So the rib cage could be seen as a cage, or is it considered protection of the heart? The Fibonacci sequence, or that golden mean, is incapable of spiraling towards the center, or again going into that higher vibration. So that is the problem here. But again, you know, a lot of our nature is based on the Fibonacci sequence, but that's this dimension. That doesn't mean it's the nature of all source energies. All right. So don't get caught up in the details of our reality, because just because our reality doesn't mean it's all realities, or doesn't mean it's actual, you know, the source energy, right? It's just important to be in the original natural process, which is what she tries to bring through in Ascension Glossary, you know, the organic process of original source energy, right? The original blueprint of your soul, not of your body. So again, now ascending back to the Hieros Gamos of the divine masculine rod and the divine feminine staff connected to source, quote from Ascension Glossary. The starseed couplings, and I hadn't read this before, but starseed couplings have been a work in progress since February 2009 for tantric, which she defines as heart, union to occur, or quote unquote the sacred unions. But you can go into Ascension Glossary and read all this. And she talks about the crystal star tones, which are the Ka, Ra, Ya, Sa, Ta, A, La, as opposed to any distorted programs that have been offered to us already. The Aquarian influence during the 12th alchemical stage of multiplication to embody source light. And she talks about the distorted Metatronic energy, the fallen angel collective, right? Which we as humans are considered the fallen angel collective. But the, again, it's and then the division, for the further division, right? Because just us as humans is a creation of other beings with our soul. So we have both the angelic and the fallen energies in our makeup. But as long as we have that connection to source energy, that's fine, because there is then balance. That's what I'm getting right now. But anyway, she talks about the distorted Metatronic energy. It doesn't mean every time you speak the word Metatron that someone's giving you negative energy. So I don't want you to get wrapped up in those details. It's all in the perspective and how you receive something, and let them do their jobs of undoing these distortions, right? Everyone has a different calling. So follow what your heart calling is. The flower of life. So what she describes is the flower of life, though, grows one sphere of energy at a time, not quantum building of the divine Trinity, but by consuming from the planet. So that's that same energy, which is very important, of the 2 versus the 3, is one consumes itself and the other one has ultimate, infinite energy from their connection to source. 2 eats 1 to become 3, and so on. And the 60-degree angle of the Fibonacci sequence is the unnatural program, which is why I brought up the 12, because the 12 is based on 3 and 4, not 6 and 6. Right? The 3, 4, 7 energy and the 12. Anyway, you can go read into that. I haven't read the whole, the whole site. There's a whole lot of information there for you. But also, first and foremost, follow your own knowing, because your mission may be something different than what they're doing, and there may be a different perspective or belief that needs to be held for you in order to do your mission. So that's why it's so important to always follow your own knowing first, okay? So back to my message here at 633, which is the Christ vibration in the 6 of the 6th house, which is also the house of work and the details of day-to-day living. The underlying energy of the 16, which is the inner truths, 32 of transformation, and the camel, and then the wheel of fortune reverse, which is number 10. The sudden inner truths, little light of mine, the journeyman's transformation came L, and the wheel turned around in a turn of events. At the base of the tower or tree with a boat for two and chains untied to bridge more naturally, at the crescent blue moon, as October is over, the masculine could be holding on to water weight or storing water or the moody blues. From 16 to 32, with crystal spin, then they were showing me a diagram of the difference between pi and phi and what we're talking about here, right? Because the twins are folding in upon each other, right? Inside out and through on through. And they were showing me how this worked and how it led up to the symbolism that they were giving me of leaping inward, expanding from within as opposed to outside yourself, right? Because phi can represent expanding outside the pi circle with the line down the middle, right? The pi is our basic human existence and finding balance, right? That simple existence and balance. And then the phi expands beyond that. But then it also puts a lot of pressure on the human body, right? Reaching out for more energy outside of itself, right? Which then is that coal to diamond experience. But then they were showing me, right? Because pi is pi and phi is phi. We go from the I, which is the lowercase I is the chakra system, and of course the capital I is the I am presence, to the pi, which is the circle with a line down the middle in basic existence, to the phi, which then adds the H in the middle, which brings it higher, HI, and the P and the H reference, what is that? Chi, I showed you a symbol too, which I can't even remember anymore, but it's like a long P with the X on it, right? The Xi, Chi, or Chi energy. But that P was coming up again as the P here. And the H, remember, is just the I knocked over into the horizontal position. And HI is high or higher, from the H of the human to the I am presence of that. Is it? I don't remember. It's Z Chi. I'd have to look that up again. I'm not that familiar with all the Greek letters and meanings. But we have the energy of I, which is 9, and then PI, which is 25, and then Phi, which is 33, going from the Hermit to the Knight of Wands, which the slow burn, and it's the 2 and 5, which is the magic potion bottle, and then the 33 of the Christ vibration, the 4D bridge, going from the Hermit to the Knight of Wands to the 4D bridge, that Phi energy under pressure, densifying for the core to go from coal to diamond or carbon to crystalline. The pi symbol of the circle with the line down the middle, from pi and Einstein to phi. And then Tesla was also coming up, right? He was the original person of the alternating current, the induction motor, and the first Niagara power, the big Niagara power plant for alternating currents, the first large scale in the world. And he also invented wireless communication. And he was born in a lightning storm. And also Tesla was a Cancer, like Elon Musk. I was looking for a ratio associated with Tesla, which I don't know if I found that. But when I looked up that, the price of Tesla came up as 20566, which again is that 2 and 5 of the magic potion with space between, and the 66, which is the Queen of Pentacles, but it's also the 2 spiraling energies of the heart, which becomes the rose. So 20566 is the magic potion of the rose heart. The quantum ratio, which was Bohr's ratio, BOHR, the quantum energy generator, the QEG, came up. And so I didn't go into listen to about too much, but it has to do, James Robitaille, Robitaille, James, was doing a video on multiple order harmonics, if you want to listen to it. But I just, what came up that I did read was dealing with reciprocity rods, works in harmony with the natural laws, the multiple order harmonics. Starseeds and twins infiltrating to process out of distortions naturally by their raised state of consciousness. Establishes as twins in Hieros Gamos, streaming the source energy from within, self-energizing or not eating up what's around them. But again, what came up in Ascension Glossary 2 was by the twins coming into union, that natural stream directly to source, which no one can interfere with because it comes from within, naturally will start breaking down the distortions around them. So that's why it's so important for the twins to come together. So they were showing me the symbolism here. And I'll show you the picture, and then I'm gonna read what I wrote about what I was getting. So here is the symbolism here. All right, so again, I told you the I is the chakra system, the I am. All right, so the source energy then becomes the pi. So the source jumps into the human, but remember it's hard to hold in the human dense body, right, which is the human. And then the phi is reaching outside the human body of energy, but then it puts a lot of pressure on the human body. They can't take it, which is our energy now, which then splits the soul into the I and the H, is the masculine and the feminine, to say hi, to be able to hold the energies in that higher vibration. And then there's a picture of the wheel cut up in 12 parts, which was coming up when I highlight the 4 and the 3, it becomes the dragonfly here. And that was coming up as the H, as the 2 eyes on either side, with the line between is the corded twins, the I am and the I am, and the cord between. The alternating currents in quantum entanglement, and the II with the dash between here was coming up as II Capitan, which is the cap and the tan man, right? The crown with the chakra system of the human. And then the dragonfly coming up as the 1s, 2s, and 3s of 12, right? Because it's 0, the 4 is 1, 2, is 0, 1, 2, 3. So it's the 0, 1, 2, 3s of 12. So this at 7-11 again, 7-11 is coming up again. The 7 of the key, the boomerang, the chariot, and the 11 of alignment. The underlying energy of the 37, the King of Cups, and the ideal course of action, the 8 of the breakthrough, and the 18 of the new experiences and possibilities, and the 3 of celebrating differences, the 16 of inner truths. So the King of Cups dance of romance, the 3 keys of the cap of alchemy. The cap is Capricorn, Aquarius, Pisces, but also it's short for Capricorn, which is that first of the 3 keys, and the crown, Capricorn, Aquarius, Pisces, and also referencing the 4th quarter, right, before Pisces again, or the 3 layers within that quarter, or the 90 degrees with 30 degrees each, right? Not talking about 60 degrees, but 30, 30, 30 within the 90 degree right angle. The right angle has 3 homes, vertical, horizontal, and front and center, but only 1 ohm, as the AUM, which is all suspended animation co-creation. Through the tunneling effect, the dominoes aligned perfectly. A line or arc is the key. Aligned. Aligned is a right angle, or 90 degrees, in ED, which is Mr. Ed, or extra dimensionally. And remember, the D is the M of co-creation, but the spinning planet, the multi-dimensional M, right? It's on the axle, but it's just this one C that's spinning. So then it looks like a whole circle. The IGN is the ignis, or the igni, the ignition, the fire. All fire, ED, a fire ignited. When all align, they then arc instead. The turning of the key 90 degrees, a quarter or 1/8 towards each other. All right, so just think how hard it is to open a safe, where the lock is still and only the key is what's moving. But when you have two locks, both with keys to the other, who are both moving 1/8 towards each other, there's a breakthrough for two moving objects to align at the same time. A lock is stationary, but here we have two locks and two keys, each other's locks and keys, unlocking simultaneously, as the King of Cups with an open heart on high, to the moon, 8 and 10 to 18, the high heart and the solar star chakra, which is the 6 inches above the crown. And then as she talks about in Ascension Glossary, from the 6 inches above the crown to a whole network behind the left ear. And again, 818 comes up here. The fourth harmonic universe of 10, 11, and 12D is the crystalline and aurora earth matrix. And again, this is from Ascension Glossary, in 3 layers of the Christos avatar matrix. So open your heart and looking up, the romance with Mother Nature, where dolphin meets unicorn, where land meets sea, where they are salty and celebrating differences with sudden inner truths. At 7:53 is the Chariot and the Knight of Swords, the 36 of intuition and the 47 of laughter, as the Atlas synchronicities, intuition, which is the in-twit connection, the twin towers of you and I connection, with laughter. Aquarius, the emotion of laughter, with map of intent for the weight of the world, the 30 of adventure, the union of the second coming, number 2, crystal spiral, and being the Y in the road. The Y, naturally, by green algae and conch shells, aurora borealis, the light field of us, like a prison of our light kept from us, this aurora borealis. And suddenly Atlas sees heaven in their eyes. 30 to 40, home to the Page of Cups, or Om to Ea. Advent, you are. Show your support to the fairies and the flowers and the birds and the man in the whispering bench canoe. 30 and 40 is the Empress and the Emperor with source support, which equals 70 of the 2 of Pentacles. Performers taking the show on the road in their chariots of fire, a slow burn, leading to the 10 of destiny and opening your high heart to the soul, right? That soul star number 10 for swan love, enveloped in each other. 30 to 40 to 10, which equals 80 days around the world, plus 1 leap home. I was just getting the spinning wheel too of the, like the table. Now I'm blanking out. The name of the, I'm just blanking on the name. So not the blackjack table, but the wheel. At 808 here is the underlying energy of 17 of love, 25 of the phoenix, 16 of the lion, 3 at 808, it turned 808 right there, of beware, 31 of thorns, and then 32 of transformation. So here was just 3, 3-1 to 3-2 of dreams of love coming true as the Knight of Wands rises from the ashes, as Sirius Lion calls home for dinner. The sudden longing, but be aware of shape-shifting, as you can't fool Mother Nature. She is a master of camouflage and conflicts with crowns. The reptile thorns of 3 plus 1, the Mother and I am, and the 3 and 2 of Mother and the Divine Feminine, as he removes the thorny cap and she breaks free from chains that bind, weathering the challenges on his side and being the person you want to be on hers. So then they were showing me also this picture. Then I took the 2 dragonflies from the sectioning of 12 And again, you know, dragonflies connect to each other when they mate. And so this was this representation, because then they land on a plant and they fold over and become the heart that then pulses. So the two dragonflies coming together are very significant right there. And it was also coming up as the two circles of Pisces, right? So here's the Pisces symbol, which is just this on its side like this, okay? So you have the line between, and there's the H right there in the middle of the two, okay, of the two dragonflies that then collapse and become the two as one hearts. So we have at 8:14 is the sun, which is 30, and then the 15 of key, the 19 of luck, and the 27 of proposal at 8:14, the dance of that higher love. The journey to the sun, escaping the prison planet, with key and lock in the shadow, so must crack, all right, the key and the lock in the shadow, so it must crack codes to get in, right? Just like you need to make a crack for the light to get in. The journey to the sun, escaping the prison planet, with key and lock that are in the shadow, right? It's hard to see inside the lock. So you must crack codes to get in. The lucky 4-leaf clover, and then the cards that came up here were 32, 30, which equals 62, plus 15 is 77, plus 19, which equals 96, plus 27 equals 1, 2, 3, link. So there's the combination they're giving me. 32, which is the journey to home union, which equals the prison, right? Plus 15 of the shadow equals your sovereignty, right? So going from the prison release and the shadow release to the 77 of your sovereignty, plus the sun, 19, which equals 96, which is that 9 and 6 back to back, that energy of the ash upside down, with 27 of the Queen's Gambit equals 1, 2, 3, link. From the 1 of the pie, the circled line down the middle, to the Pisces symbol, folding in upon each other, inside out, through and through, to be corded, right, once the lock has opened. 2 Q's make a third. The journey home with key and heart, with 4 chambers of luck, and 1 big flame to ignite the chariot, number 6 lovers turned on. The 4 birthed, holding father's finger, packing your Kundalini sword, as the 9 hermit eagle soars over the mountain ranges, phased array of remembrances toward clarity and strength. The 6 of the spiraling divine feminine, and the 4 of the lambda leap masculine, which you notice the 5 is in between, and the 9 of one and all within, holding them together. The 13 of goals of gold, and I was getting goats though. I wrote goats by accident, but there are no accidents. So again, the goats of gold, or goals of gold, the 13 of transition and dark night of the soul, and the 35, where your wishes are ready to come true, in the surrender, with golden coins, which coin is also Kohan, or co-pilots, to light up the heart squared like an open book. A gift from the stars, present to Sirius Mother, as hard times are over. At 8:24, which is the dance of the 24, which is Omega, enlightenment, the Pleiades, the 24th pair of chromosomes, the golden egg, the gazelle, the beaver and the butterfly, the camel, the heart chakra, the home of the golden child, the graceful gazelle and the hard worker beaver, who gives a damn. In butterfly transformation, metamorphosis, came L. The golden gaze, L, behave. Boo, so boo is coming as my boo, but also as boo, as in Halloween. And then came L, but also Canadian Mel was also coming in here, for those of you who know Mel Brand. The vulture was coming up with the sea serpent and the sacral chakra, looking for a break in the seal in a really sturdy, solid specimen. As you see buff. Hello. So at 9:09, I came back to my read, And Downsizing came up on Netflix there, which was really interesting because when I first saw the name of the movie, downsizing is what I was just talking about, right? The soul learning how to downsize their energy to fit into a dense human body. So again, the energy of walk-ins also are coming up here. As at 9:10, then came L, as the vulture looks on, or the light that you are, or the old bird watching out for them, or sad one looking to check out, as old one looks in, or looks to check in, or jump in, waiting for a break in the seal, or Buffalo Bill, perhaps trading in their sharp beak for a sharp horn instead. As the elephant is beat up and worn down, but still clearing step by step with flame and trunk, reflecting swans with superficial star or star fish, or Ellis's swan star reflecting in the quiet. So, shh. At 9:21 is the hermit in the world, as the underlying energy of the Three of Cups and Page of Cups both reversed, perhaps in a third-party rejection, or the Page of Cups reversed may be feeling left out, confessing their burdens to the King of Cups and Knight of Cups, as they are off to the Ten of Cups without, who never heard, perhaps the family never heard back from the King of Swords here, who may be downsizing. As the King of Swords surrenders suddenly to the Queen of Swords, or Scorpio is Sag between them, the King and Queen of Swords, as the Queen of Swords is speaking to the Queen of Cups, perhaps, a bit depressed or needing to heal, hanging out to be more present, with Aquarius reversed and Pisces Capricorn upright, waiting for their ship to come in, perhaps worried about things not working out, or sharing or settling out, or settling up, or out in a divorce or breaking contract, or alternative magic or procedure, manifestation, with Taurus reversed and Gemini or Virgo upright, without a choice but to take the leap away from stress, to relax and meditate, to take a break, connect on the other side in recovery, or feeling weak with angelic assistance to help them pee or flip the switch to heaven in their eyes. All aligned or lined up as all clear, performing the switch, and then visit or move with the Nine of Pentacles dream and the Ten of Pentacles catch, partner and home both as the King of Pentacles, with all they could ever dream of or need, assessing the worth in a turn of events. So we have the Nine of Pentacles, Ten of Pentacles, King of Pentacles, all in a row right here. So that's like, everything you could possibly want as far as being referenced in this deck. And then the next first card was Justice, with the Eight of Cups and the Six of Cups both reversed. Justice is upright, with Libra upright or reversed. With Truth, they could be going back and forth. That could be their indecisiveness. The Truth, balance, and alignment, perhaps uncomfortable with emotions, or a falling out in the past, or the past returns with bad memories, or difficult children who are clinging, as the Page of Wands reversed, to the Empress upright, or a new child that's coming between Libra upright and Taurus upright, or loss of a child that lay as bad memories between them. A lot of energetic exchange, or the Hours of Love, post-war or post-virus, with the Page of Swords reversed, who may be frustrated in partnership, and then communicating one-to-one, or a single mother who may be looking for a partner as well. As at 10:28, which is the Wheel and the Twin Flames, the clarity or news perhaps knocks them off balance, or perhaps the X fell off the horse, or two fiery Knight of Wands reverse with no love loss there, getting on the Emperor's nerves, as the Empress with the little ones and the Emperor with the bigger ones, and the Knight of Pentacles offers help to end the conflict or a release, holding on, keeping their cards close, the Hermit reversed, perhaps coming out, unless that's, a parent with Alzheimer's or dementia, something like that as well. Could be someone losing their mind. Or coming out of isolation, tempted to bring peace and make someone happy. Recovering people with issues at work, standing up for themselves and getting over loss, as the King of Wands reversed and the Queen of Pentacles reversed, with the High Priestess or higher self, travels across the world, coming clean with the Queen of Wands, who's up early with the Page of Pentacles reversed now that the worst is over, in a divide or split needing clarity, with sunshine, exposure, or a wake-up call to those stuck with a broken heart at 11:01, which is alignment with the One. Okay, so there is your messages. Really profound today. So, yeah, I want to pull from the Messages of Love Oracle again. See what comes up for you guys. And thank you, iPad, for not dumping me. It's 4:03 on the clock, so there's that Emperor and Empress energy, and it's 1:54:54. It went to 5:56. But 154, and now it's the truth. It was just 1:55:01. So the 54 is the Page of Swords and the Page of Swords and the Magician embodiment going into the truth of the 55 in the middle, right? That source energy with the 01 and the 01 or 02 on the other side. And now it's 4:04, so 2 emperors. All right, what's our takeaway from all that? Well, this bunch just came out. So the bottom of the deck was, I'm going to shuffle again, but warning, don't dismiss the red flags here, but this bunch just came out. They wouldn't go back in. The leap of faith, it's safe to make the move you're considering. The person's is unable to give you all you deserve. So make sure your boundaries are up that are needed now. Here and now, your true love is already a part of your life. There's an external party that's intruding on this relationship, which is why they may not be able to give you all you deserve. So I'm going to shuffle one more time. Twin flames. Oh, there we go. That was for sure. All right, so there's the boundaries. So make sure you have firm boundaries right now. Here and now, your true love is already part of your life. And again, an external party is intruding on this relationship. So old wounds and childhood issues need revisiting. Detach with love to clearly see the truth. And everything happens for a reason, okay? So again, the underlying energy is coming up as that unavailable. That person's unable to give you all you need to give. Yeah. And children are important to this partnership was coming up before that too. Someone is undergoing a spiritual transformation. So someone's awakening. Children are important. So don't dismiss the red flags here. It's safe to make the move you're considering. But this person is unable to give you all you deserve at the moment because there's a third party interfering. All right, so, and I do want to pull from one other deck for you. Let's see here. Let's pull from the energy deck. Okay. I was just getting Pontus Pilate, because I was just seeing Pontus right there, and he makes a big presence right there. But whatever, I'm getting Pilate. But that also came up as the co-pilots. Pontus Pilate, the brother was coming up, and my brother came up. So there's something about a brother that's is maybe significant right now. My brother and I, our birthdays are one day apart. So interesting, right? Because Gaia and Pontus come up together, the sister and the brother. All right, energy deck here. What is our final guidance here? All right, well, that was definite. All right, so the bottom of the deck here, hold on, there's some more cards that want to come out too. Okay. So the bottom of the deck is the 24, and we talked a lot about the 24 today, being the 24th pair, and Omega of enlightenment, and the Pleiades, the adjacent possibilities, right? When one window falls out, there's always a place to go. There's always other possibilities. Remember the 2 and 4 are the spaces between. And I'm getting, what are they called, the calendars at Christmas where you open the doors? I'm getting that. I'm getting someone saying, well, if there's lots of doors to choose from, what happens if one falls out or gets broken? Well, there's just always adjacent possibilities here. The 24 is the Queen of Wands. To open your crown, look up, see another way. And literally in this card, the ceiling is an exact reflection of the floor. Now this is an escape route through the roof. Look at that. So cool. There's an escape hatch up here too you didn't see, because you weren't looking at it from the right perspective. That's really cool. Okay, so these came out first. We have the 10 of the storm warning. The 10 is destined, so don't worry about it. The 48 is walking away and within, right, to create balance, right, when you get knocked off balance. And then the 9 of healing the heart here and work on healing that heart. Okay, the 9 is connecting with source, and we have Virgo and Libra here as well, going within together, right? And Virgo Libra is the midpoint of the astrological cycle, so that's significant. Which then is is connecting you to that, you know, Pisces, going from Pisces to Aries connection there, right? Where Aries is the North Node right now. 1 second, honey. Just give me a second, I'm almost done. Teddy sees something outside he wants to get to. But I'm getting this, right, we have this big dust cloud, right, cyclone over here. And again, I'm getting the Wizard of Oz. But someone's not feeding into that, right? They're walking away and going within, and we have the pyramid energy back here too. So I'm getting to visualize the pyramids if needed to bring you back to this place where then you can heal that broken heart, right? So it's destined to heal. You're destined to walk away from what's not working, the missing piece, right? The code that cracks the heart open, right? So it's the key to their heart. And then we have these 3 that came out, 3 and 3. So there's that Christ consciousness again. The 19 of the sun and the 41 of the Ace of Cups, the 18 of the moon. There's the 18 of the feminine, the 19 of the masculine, the daughter and the son. And graduation, the Holy Grail, which is the portal and the tunnel. Look up. Wow, that really came together. So I want to show you both of these sets of 3, right? So here's the masculine dealing with the storm, the feminine dealing with the broken heart, and walking away and within to graduation, to that 41 of the Holy Grail, and that holy, calm union energy here. So really beautiful. Wow. Okay. Again, take what resonates and leave the rest. Remember your water, your rest, your joy, your nature. I will see you next time. Have an amazing one, guys. I'll see you soon.